Good morning, pregame crew. How are ya? I hope you're doing well. Let's do an audio visual check. Welcome to the show. Good morning, Night Truck. Hey, Greg, Jeffrey, Shake and Bake, Nathan, Jill, Topher. Hey, Tess. Hey, Mal. I don't know what that means, but sounds fancy. Hey, Andre. Hey, Alice. Marvin, Spaceball, K-Mac. Omar. Hey, Nugget. Thank you. Yeah, hit the like button. Hey, SpongeBob. Shake and Bake. Perfect Night Truck. Thank you. Hey, Schoolboy. Hey, Casey. Hey, Geeta. Let's see. Do I have any chart requests yet? Crowd. Let's see what's going on with crowd. Crowd, we're looking for a daily lower high. We're at the 12 EMA resistance. We have earnings on August 28th. I like crowd for a top fish. Looking for that daily lower high here at the 12 EMA. So I like your idea. It's actually one of my Queen of the Mountain trades. I like it. So Topher says, no carry trade disasters this week, please. I don't know exactly what you mean. I don't know if you mean trade as in trade with China or carrying trades that are losers. Cut those losers fast. Hey, Will. Hey, Bill. Hey, Leslie. Any other chart request? What is XLV doing? Roblox. PLTR is looking good. PLTR I have on back burner watch. That's another one of my Queen of the Mountain trades. It had such a beautiful move after earnings. And then on top of earnings, it had a deal with, excuse me if I get this wrong, but some type of partnership with Microsoft and the Azure platform that it's going to be a partner. So I love PLTR. I think this is a gorgeous move. Look at this candle on the weekly. Look at that. The only thing that would make that prettier is a Maribozu candle. So the conservative bull is waiting for a back burner. The aggressive bull is looking for a pullback buy, maybe to the VWAP or to the 12 EMA on a shorter term time frame. All right. Hood for Topher. Hood is looking for a lower high. Real quick, let me go back and look at Bitcoin. Man, Ethereum is flying. So Bitcoin looks good. Usually that can help Hood, not all the time. Technically, Hood is looking for a daily lower high. There will be a chance to short Hood. If Hood were gapping up today, that may be a great opportunity to short it. But right now, right here with Bitcoin green, it's a tough short. That would be the only direction I'd be looking right here, right now on Hood. We're below the daily EMAs, and we've got up until $21.99 to get that daily lower high. Okay, JMIA. It's my understanding JMIA is like the Amazon of Africa. Is that right? Yeah, it had this big pump and now it has this big dump. Yeah, not looking good. A monthly high or low is possible compared to 386. On any bounce, bears are looking to top fish. I would be looking to top fish. Any hourly overbought conditions, I'd be looking to top fish and short it with this type of weakness. Go daddy. Go mama. That looks good. All-time high. Okay. There's nothing bearish about all-time highs. I would be looking for a pullback buy. Now, this does have a rising wedge look to it, but remember, rising wedges in all-time high blue sky territory, they carry a lot less weight. They tend to break bullish. And think about what a rising wedge is. A rising wedge is just a series of higher highs and higher lows. So with this one, I'd be real careful trying to short it. I'd be waiting for pullback buys. This is a beautiful chart. Tesla, I'll go over during the regular show, and it's 6:30. I'm going to go over Mara. And then I will definitely go over Tesla built and the regular for what I call the Wheel of Fortune names, the Wheel of Fortune letters. Okay, on Mara, we have double daily inside bars. That's peculiar. We're breaking bear on the double daily inside bars, and Bitcoin is green. Did Mara have earnings last week? Yeah, that looks bearish. I would put this on reverse back burner mode. I'd be looking to short 5 and 15 minute overbought conditions. This is super weak. Hey, Success. Good morning. Hey, Hindenburg. Hey, Jenny. Y'all ready to get started? Let's get this show on the road. All right, this is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community, and we teach technical analysis. What I do here on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, except for last Wednesday, I was super sick, and I appreciate for y'all understanding. I apologize that there was no show. That rarely happens. I rarely miss. I love what I do. I run to the computer every morning, so it's not like I missed on purpose. I was very sick, so I apologize. So I'm here today. If you want to give me a follow on X at ChartGalLori, that would be lovely. On the economic calendar, we don't have any 3-star events. Let's see if we have any 2-star events. And by the way, I'm feeling much better now. Just Fed 1-year consumer inflation expectations, federal budget balance. Nothing big today, but tomorrow, oh boy, PPI. And this week, CPI on Wednesday. CPI on Wednesday is going to be a biggie. I'm not saying it's going to be a big number. I mean, it's just going to be a big volatility event, typically. Hindenburg. Yeah, that photo, it's just all smoke and mirrors, Hindenburg. Soup, just all smoke and mirrors. Hey, Wave, good morning. Thank you, Jill. I feel much better. Much, much better. All right, let's get started with the indices. Let's see what's going on. So on the daily, we're looking for a lower high. Odds favor a lower high compared to 5600.75. If we do a fib pull there, the golden pocket is around 54.3250. Actually, I'm going to go set an alert there. 54.3250. I want to know when it gets to the golden pocket. That would be an area I'd be looking to top fish, depending on what the shorter term price action is, and recognize we pull down on great bear volume. We are pushing up on lower bull volume. Of course, we can't judge today, it just started, but we are bouncing up on lower bull volume. We have to remember that. We're looking for a daily lower high, and hourly got overbought over here. It did not mark the high, so that's good for bulls. Now let's go look at the 2-hour. Is the 2-hour overbought yet? Nope, not yet. So the 2-hour overbought may be the area where bears start top fishing. We're having a green morning. I'm not trying to rain on any bull parade here. However, a daily lower high is the more likely scenario, and we're looking for it in this area here. So it's going to be somewhere in here. We have the daily 50 MA over here. If you've played, what do you call that? Pinball. To me, it looks like pinball. We pinballed between the daily 200 and now we're coming up to the 50 MA. Do we pinball back down? The good news is the bulls have made enough room for a higher low on a pullback. So today, let's sequence this out. So today, this is what we're looking for. The most logical next step, doesn't mean it'll happen. The market is not always logical. It can be very irrational sometimes. A lower high is first. That would be the first in the sequence that we're looking for. And the second, okay, stop that, would be the higher low. So this is the sequence we're looking for. And I could probably copy and paste this to 80% of the charts out there. Of course, there are going to be exceptions. But with this push up, it's beautiful. It's wonderful. If you're in a long, stay in a long. As long as the 15-minute EMAs are below you, just stay there. Stay long. A lower high is the more likely scenario. And then once the bears can turn things around on the pullback, then bulls are looking for a higher low. So today you have to determine two things. Are you going to be an aggressive bear today, watching for a bobble on the bulls? Or are you going to be a conservative bull, waiting for that higher low on the daily? It's one of two approaches. And this is literally the simplest, not simplest, I'm sure I could make it even more simple, but this is the clearest, I should say, way that I can show you how this week could evolve as far as probabilities. This is how the probabilities line up. Now let's go look at NQ. NQ golden pockets around 18,889. We have bounced enough to make enough room for a higher low. So a lower high is the more likely scenario first. And then step 2 would be a higher low. And this is looking very rising wedgy. So if I were looking for a short and I say, okay, on step 1, I want to be an aggressive bear, I would choose NASDAQ over ES. Let's go back and look at why. Right here, NASDAQ, we're approaching the daily 12 EMA. And on ES, we're at the EMA. So NASDAQ's just slightly weaker, just a little bit weaker. RTY is much weaker. So you could even choose RTY. RTY has the daily 50 MA overhead and the daily 200 MA below. Pinball, pinball, pinball. We're inside Friday's range. Looking for, look at this 4-hour 26 EMA just remaining overpriced. Well, that's interesting. We do have a big squeeze developing here on RTY. Let's see if these bulls can get going here. A 15-minute lower high is expected compared to 2094.40. RTY just looks a little bit more erratic than NQ and ES. Much more erratic, actually. The Dow has only bounced about 40%. We have made room for a higher low. Again, pinball in between the daily 200 and the daily 50 MA. We've made enough room for a higher low. And this will greatly depend on XLF. The Dow, we have several XLF names in Dow, and you'll notice they run together or fall together often. VIX is green, but I am not overly concerned about the VIX. If you listen to me last Monday on TCG live stream, I said literally the best trade of the week will be shorting the VIX. Just don't front run it. And man, was it a good trade. Let's see. Where's my price thingy? Oh, there it is. We dropped about 70%. It was the best trade of the week. The key with shorting the VIX is don't front run it. Wait for a 5-minute trend change. When you have a spike like this and this little short squeeze, wait for some exhaustion, an upper wick, and then short it. I have proof of that on video if you don't believe me. I said this will be the trade of the week. Okay. So VIX is still melting down. There's no sign of fear yet, but with CPI on Wednesday, I would anticipate that we would have some type of bounce on VIX as bulls and bears start hedging into CPI. Hang Seng was green overnight. DAX was green overnight. Bitcoin is green right now. We got a nice bounce on the hourly. We've made enough room for an hourly higher low. On the 4-hour, though, we're still looking for a 4-hour lower high on the VIX compared to 61,868. Nope, doing Bitcoin right now. I go over Bitcoin every pregame. I go over Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, we're looking for a 4-hour lower high. On the daily, we're looking for that daily higher low. We got that hourly uptrend, so I would say now the daily higher low is likely set. Now the question is, do we get a daily higher high or do we EQ out? And by EQ out, I mean something like this. Man, I'm talking slow today, ain't I? So I'm looking something, does it look like this? Where we just EQ out, waiting for the bulls and bears to fight it out? Or do we do something like this? Get that 4-hour higher low and zoom higher. Of course, that's what bulls would like. I would say at this point, this is the more likely scenario where we go sideways due to the size of this pullback. Ethereum is having a nice green morning. However, a 4-hour lower high is still possible compared to 2720. Due to the size of this pullback, when we go from higher highs to lower lows on the size of this retrace, then we look for lower highs. So 2720, yes, a higher high is possible. I don't know if this had any type of news. ETF, I know it already got the ETF announced and started and all that stuff. I don't know what this bounce is about. Is it a dead cat bounce? But gun to head, and you say, Lori, you have to choose right here, right now. Would you go long or short on Ethereum? I would go short against 2720 due to the asymmetric risk to reward. The risk to reward favors shorting 2720 versus going long up here after you've already had an almost $200 bounce. Dollar. SVIXY is a short. You can short VIX with SVIXY. I short the VIX with futures. You can do it if you're on Thinkorswim or Schwab, /VX. And if you want to do the micro, /VXM. But you can use SVIXY and go long SVIXY to short the VIX. Okay, back to the dollar. So the dollar, we're on our second daily inside bar. We are looking for a daily lower high. CPI will likely have a lot to do with this. 102.358, 102. I would say this was just a level. This wasn't a pivot. A monthly higher low is still possible. But on the daily, we have an inside bar. And on the 4-hour, we're chopping pretty sideways. I have been burning up for weeks on end, and I'm actually cold this morning. What's going on? It is 65 degrees outside. Wow. It's gone from Hades to 65. Okay. So on the dollar, this actually looks like a little bit of a head and shoulders here. Trying to find a time frame I like. Yeah, 2 hours is just chopping around. It doesn't have a clear pattern for me. Gold, nice bounce. 2-hour bull flag looks like it's breaking bull. Hourly bull flag breaking bull. Look at that nice squeeze there. and we broke bull. I made a comment in TCG chat room last week that this summer it felt like the Queen of the Mountain trades were so straightforward, and we had a lot of bangers, and we were watching for these squeezes, tightening ranges, and then boom, to the downside, to the upside. And now with this type of volatility, it's more difficult, because when you've got these type of swings that look like this, and you're trying to say, am I going short here or am I going long here? It's just not as straightforward. So I recognize that the Queen of the Mountain trades aren't as straightforward as they were. And so we need to pivot. We have to be agile and say, okay, we have to look for a different type of edge. This was working all summer, and now it's not working as clearly. We don't have those types of setups. So now what is the next move? Oil looks great. Oil is screaming higher. It had an OPEC monthly report, I believe, this morning. Okay, oil short against 78.88. We have the daily 50 MA overhead at 77.77. We're there right now. This may be some of you commodities head. I was about to say commodity potheads. That makes no sense. But you commodity lovers, this may be a top fish against 78.88. We're coming straight from a lower low. Nice bounce. Look at this volume. Declining bull volume. So a top fish on oil, I really like that for a setup, and that is actually one of my Queen of the Mountain trades as well. Daily top fish setup at 50 MA, looking for a daily lower high. Copper's been getting the you-know-what beat out of it. I don't have a setup for you there. Nat gas is bouncing, but you know my feelings on that. That's actually a great bounce. Hourly got overbought again. Let's see. Reverse back burner. Let's see if it works again. All right, Apple, I've got to talk faster. I only have 4 minutes. Apple is drifting up. We're right at the daily 50 MA and EMAs. We're gapping up. Gap rules apply. If this gap up does not hold, I would be looking for a top fish. So if this gap up does not hold, let's say we re-enter Friday's range and then use Friday's range as resistance, that is a top fish setup. Amazon is definitely more lethargic than others. We're opening up inside Friday's range, and this looks like a rising wedge as well. We've got the daily 200 MA overhead. I like Amazon short. I'm adding details to my notes. Okay, NVIDIA. Jungle Cat, please forgive me. I completely forgot to do the market dossier today. I will do it for TCG members when I am done with this show for the next 10 minutes. I have a 10-minute break. I will do it. I apologize. I did not do it this morning. I completely forgot. I have a list of about 42 things, I'm not kidding, to do every morning, and it's just something that slipped my mind this morning. I apologize. NVDA. We're opening up inside Friday's range. I don't see a setup on the NVDA. It looks pretty choppy to me. Tesla, now I feel guilty. Tesla looks like a daily bear flag under the daily 200 MA. We're opening up inside Friday's range. This doesn't look very constructive to me right here, right now. Bulls need to break out of this range and get over that daily 200 MA. As far as Queen of the Mountain trade setups, I like that Amazon short. We just went over against the daily 200 MA, looking for a top fish against 168.77. I like Apple short, looking for, we have this gap fill at 217.46. So I'm looking for gap rules. So if we're unable to hold this gap up and we fall back inside Friday's range, that would be a short for me. Crowd, I like for a top fish. Just looking for that daily lower high. Top fish against 246.01. Oil, I like that top fish looking for the daily lower high. I would not front run this. Oil bulls look a little peeved right now. They are running hard. PLTR. I like PLTR for the back burner. And then XLF looks like an hourly rising wedge to me as we look for the daily lower high. I like it for a top fish setup against 42.51. Yeah, if you could hit that like button, I'd appreciate it. And Jungle Cat, please forgive me. I apologize. I will not forget it tomorrow. That is for sure. All right, y'all have a wonderful day. Use stop losses, TCG members. I'll see you in a few minutes.